Goodness, you are a chunky boy. He doesn't care. He's having the time of his life. On my kitchen table, no less. Because, of course, he would.
Damnation! No donation, no salvation!
And remember, respect is everything.
And we are back. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. I needed some time to myself to kind of get things in order. Not to mention, I had a lot of videos that I hadn't really finished yet. And they're still not finished, but they're a lot closer to being done. And since I picked up a few things, during, the time working on those videos, I figured I'd show these off because, been just very busy, so yeah. So before we look at any of the fun stuff, let's look at the more important stuff. So here, I did pick up some car parts, like I talked about, for my my vintage AMC Matador, because that car means a lot to me. Because if you're new to the channel, I own an old station wagon, which looks a lot like the one from this old 70s crime drama called Quincy M.E., if anyone's old enough to remember that. I know I'm not, but I mean, my dad was, and because of him, I grew up on a lot of this stuff, and I loved it. But anyway, so first thing I bought right off the bat was a new ignition coil, because older cars, like mine, instead of a bunch of tiny ignition coils, you get one big one. God, that is heavy. I'm not going to take it out of the bubble wrap because there might be some screws and stuff in there, but that is a heavy piece of equipment there. So yeah, there's the ignition coil. Here, I can maybe give you a peek at it. Yeah, it's just a big black cylinder thing with screw ends on it. So here's the part number. If any, oh, it's upside down. If any of you need an ignition coil like this one, there's the parts number and all the details for it. Also got some spark plugs. So I got Champion spark plugs. So those are nice. I got 2 sets of those. So I'm going to replace all those with my dad. So look out for that video. Me and my dad are going to be working on the car together because he loves that car as much as I do. We have this little... I'll be honest, I'm not really a mechanic, so I don't know what this is. According to my dad, it's something for the fuel system. And then an actual fuel system repair kit. So, yeah, we're going to be working on the carburetor, most importantly, and getting that car all nice and cleaned up. We'll be doing some rust repair on the car as well, because there's really not that much rust on it. It's just a small area on the hood and a few places in the bodywork, but outside of that, there really isn't much to worry about. The car is very clean. We've looked literally... I mean, it just needs to be vacuumed out, but, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, now we can look at the fun stuff, now that I've shown you guys the more important stuff. What do we have here? A 1966 Dodge Charger. Now, this is actually kind of my new favorite version of the Dodge Charger. I'm a big 70s car guy, but, late 60s Chargers, or in this case, I guess you could say that's mid-60s. I mean, 66... It's literally only 1 year after 65. I don't know. I like these old Chargers because they're like the original muscle car. That is very nice, very clean. All right, cool. That'll go with all the other classics. So I already have this car, but it was in red, so now I have a green one. They only had one, sadly, so I could only get one. But it's a cool car. And I don't think they ever molded the headlights in on this one. No, they still never put the headlights in it. Oh well. It's whatever. I also got kit from Knight Rider and car, finally. Because that was one that I missed during the original run of the... It was the old Retro Entertainment series, that's what it was. Where they had... like famous movie cars and TV show cars. And one of them was Car. Yes, Car. And Kit. Now, I'm actually more excited about Car because I made a whole, like kind of fan fiction based on this character. It's not really I mean, the only relation that, that story has to Knight Rider is that this character appears in it, but not as a Trans Am, but as a DeLorean. Kind of like Ready Player One, but it's like the evil version. Well, he's not really evil. He's just kind of like, what's the best way to put it? He's like an anti-hero in a way. So, speaking of Car, here's Car. Again, this is from just something I made up. This doesn't actually exist. It's just like a little story I'm writing that happens to feature that character. But yes, here's Car as a DeLorean. This is his final form. His first form had the normal DeLorean rear cover, but then he gets an upgrade and has these like nitro tanks and he's based on the DeGorian from Carmageddon, like the later ones. And I did make the spikes for it too, so they just kind of clip on the front like that. So yeah, he's not really a bad guy, or he kind of starts as a bad guy because he gets rebuilt from his old destroyed circuitry, but then, I don't know, I guess he kind of learns to appreciate human life. He's kind of like the Terminator from Terminator 2. And then I made one for Kit, too, if you've ever seen Ready Player One. These are all custom cars I threw together, because I had to drill apart several cars to get one perfect one. Because they were all destroyed and damaged anyway, so I figured I'd just rebuild them as, like, nicer vehicles, so... Yeah, the only thing I added to this one was the scanner, and that's about it. So this one's completely custom. It was originally red, but then I just made it silver. And then I gave him his little detachable spikes of doom. Stabby, stabby. Anyway, that's all fan fiction crap. That doesn't matter. Also, here's an original Knight Rider toy car that I restored a long time ago. I did a whole video on it where I restored the actual car, painted it, resanded it, all that good stuff. So this isn't really a custom, it's more of a restoration piece. And since we're talking about Firebirds, which are kind of my holy grail of 80s sports cars, sorry if it's not focusing, but yeah, that is just a nice car. Car. So if you've never seen Knight Rider, Car was actually the prototype of Kit, and then, does he actually have the right license plate? He does! I love this character. I loved Paul Frees. He was the second voice for Car. He had a very sinister, sound. Kind of like a car salesman, ironically.
Forget belief systems. Forget the perimeters of rational thinking, as it so smugly is called. Feel, my friend. Feel.
Let's look at Kit. I have a million versions of Kit from Knight Rider, so this is just more... I mostly just bought this for Car, really. So there's Kit. He's alright. He's cool. I actually have another Kit that I bought in a single pack. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, sorry about that. So there was a single pack Kit that they released a while back. And I want to see if there's any noticeable differences. Nothing too noticeable off the bat. The interior is slightly browner, which is technically more accurate. In the show, the windows should be blacked out, but I don't know why. I guess Hot Wheels decided this looked better. Which, I don't mind. It's whatever. I mean, Kit's Kit. But otherwise, these cars are identical. So, here, I don't want to get those mixed up. There was also a Super Pursuit version, done in a very high-end fashion, with the whole metal bottom. And then they also released a basic Super Pursuit version, which has the regular plastic bottom and plastic wheels, where this one actually has the rubber tires and metal bottom. They're pretty much identical, except this one actually has more accurate windows because they're tinted. Which I bought 2 of these, so I'm going to have fun customizing one of those. And since this will be probably one of my last chances to talk about Firebirds, here is the Matador 2000. Yes, this is a custom car that I painted together. I'm going to do a whole video on custom cars that I made, so this is just kind of a preview, I guess. But yeah, I took out the T-tops. The window's a little messed up. That's just because it's barely held on with anything. I couldn't really figure out how to get it to stay in place, so it just kind of... It's a battle damage feature. You could blow out the window. That's funny. But yeah, this is kind of inspired by the the chip AAD car from, kind of inspired by the Cyber Driver car from Watch Dogs 2, with my own little twist to it, because, you know, I like green, and I decided to paint one green. And then here's a regular Firebird and what it's supposed to look like without the Knight Rider mods. Ironically, this one has more accurate wheels, because these are from a Johnny Lightning, but the actual body's Hot Wheels. But yeah, the actual car is... So in real life, the car would be like 4 feet or like 4 inches longer because of that custom front end. But it is what it is. So there's a Firebird next to Kit and what it's supposed to look like. And yes, I bought 2 sets of these because, you know, why not? Here, let's go ahead and open those too. Because I don't care about packaging. I'm a mongoloid who loves to rip open cardboard and set the toys inside free so that I can rip them apart later and make all sorts of horrendous customs out of them. But yeah, I bought 2 of these. Let's see which one's nicer. Although they're both pretty nice. I'm not going to destroy either one of these because, I mean, one's for the Hollywood collection that I have, and then the other one's just going to be one to mess around with. Speaking of car, before I found this one, I actually made my own. Yeah, this is not, that's actually not paint. That's bare metal. I just scraped a bunch of the paint off until, you know, it looked like him. I don't have the license plate because I don't have car, but now I do. So, this is car if he, got rebuilt as a Firebird after the explosion, instead of the DeLorean, like, originally. Because, in my story, he gets rebuilt as the DeGorian. Which, speaking of the DeGorian, so here's his first form, where he has the normal rear louvers. This is obviously custom too. A lot of these were made from salvaged cars that I destroyed for our other projects, but I decided to rebuild most of them because I had enough parts to do so. So yeah, in the story he has the normal louvers and stuff. It's very Ready Player One inspired, but outside of that, he doesn't have... He's a very snarky character, very kind of a smart ass, and I love it. And then he gets his upgrade, where he gets the nitro tanks, the spoiler, the supercharger, and the spikes, of course. I'll do a whole video talking about my fanfiction version of Car, but I don't know. I really love the character, and, you know, the fact that I can finally, you know, talk about it with some level of relevance is nice. But yeah, there's my versions. And yes, I also chopped out the T-tops because I think it looks cool. I'm not going to do that to either one of these. I'm going to keep these exactly the way they are because they just look too damn good. I noticed they used white when it should be silver. But you know what? I don't care. It looks good. I like it. And now I have 2 of them. So, yeah. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these kits, though. Because the kits, I mean... I already have a nice high-end one, so I really don't need more. I mean, the only difference between these is just the interior, because it's a slightly darker shade of tan. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll keep 2 of these, and then I'll do something with that one. Maybe I'll leave that one alone, too, because I destroy way too many of these kit cars for customs. I mean, for Christ's sakes, look at the Matador 2000. I keep chopping the T-tops off these things. And then look at Car. I also chopped off his T-tops, although his back window kind of works better for some reason. Not sure why that is, but anyway, yeah, I've ranted on long about that. Let's look at Motormaster. Okay, sorry about that. I was putting away all the other cars, and yeah, so I decided I'm going to keep one set as loose. But I'm not going to modify them because I really have no reason to, just because I don't need anything from them, because I already have way too many of those Firebirds. I mean, seriously, if you don't believe me, I mean, look. Car. Custom car. Regular Firebird, Resto kit, SPM kit, the basic edition, freaking the other kit that came with it, and then the Matador 2000. And then it doesn't stop there. I still have more of these things. So yeah, as you can see, I have an obsession with Firebirds. Anyway, let's look at Motormaster. Okay, now that we got all that stuff cleared out of the way, yeah, as you can tell, I haven't made a video in a while, and I really miss doing this because I like doing these kind of videos. I will be doing a tutorial, so Obviously, a lot of my subscribers are here for the Lego Transformer stuff. I do have a tutorial coming on jets. It's almost done, so look out for that, because I'm going to go into a lot of detail like I did the car bots. So, here, we'll go ahead and leave Cliff Jumper here in the corner since, you know, I brought him out. But yeah, so let's look at Motormaster. Holy crap, I've been wanting to look at this thing for days, but I just never opened it because I wanted to share the experience on camera. I am a little worried because I've heard a lot of, what's the word? I don't know if I'd say negative, but I've heard a lot of concerns regarding this mold because I've been hearing people having a lot of quality control issues. So hopefully mine's good, because they only had 2 at the Target I was at. But I mean, as long as it's not something that can actually mess up the figure, that I'm good. Where's Motormaster? Is he in here? Okay, there's Motormaster. Get him out. There we go. Okay, so there's the trailer, which, oh my, that is heavy. There's Motormaster. God, that is so heavy. God damn, man. Okay, so there's Motormaster. I'll put his trailer on. That is just too cool. Alright, I guess we can try and transform him. It can't be that hard. He feels nice. The plastic feels good. I mean, it's alright, I guess. Here. So I think you're supposed to fold these wheels down. Oh my god, it's like Back to the Future. Look at it. That's awesome. Oh, dude, you know what this reminds me of? Uh-oh. I can't get that wheel back out. Well, alright, screw it. If you've ever seen Terminator 2, remember that big, giant black tow truck that looked like Nemesis Prime that crashed through the thing, the wall, the barrier into the LA River? This looks kind of like that truck. I may have to do a Terminator 2 stop motion now, where I use this truck to crash through a bridge or something. That's funny. I just need to add something here to look like a tow hook. That's funny that this reminds me of that. Man, I love Terminator 2. Why did they have to make all those other crappy sequels? The first 2 were fine. I actually didn't even mind Terminator 3. Like, I mean, I hated the ending, but the actual movie was alright. Done a little better with the story. Okay, so there's that. So these come out like this. Folds out. I don't want to break it, so let's pull this out. Okay, okay, so these are the legs. And then I'm not sure. Okay, so the knees are somewhere in here. Okay, so those fold down like that. And then, like I said, I'm not a proper Transformer reviewer. I don't really review regular Transformers because, I mean, I would. It's just the problem is, where I live, and this probably applies everywhere, is, you know, Transformers take way too long to get to stores sometimes. And I can never find figures, and, you know, scalpers kind of ruin the hobby a lot because they have no lives and they just decide to raid stores. That looks like the ankle tilt. How does this work? Okay, so this folds out like that. Folds out like this. And then I'm going to assume this folds down. Or how does this... I'm confused. I don't know. I'm probably not going to... What? Are these... Oh my god, those are super tight ratchets. Wow, that's a very tight joint. Do these tab in? They do. They tab in right there. Okay, so plug those in. I mean, if you guys want me to review regular figures, I have no problem doing so. The problem is, it's, you know, I mean, I have a lot of figures that I would like to talk about. It's just, I got them really late, and most people have already done, like, you know, decent videos on them. So, I mean, but if you guys want to hear my opinions on some figures, I mean, I'll be more than happy to do videos on them. I just would like to know if you guys would care to watch them, because a lot of them are figures that are, I wouldn't say old, they're just, you know, plenty of people have already talked about them, so it'd be kind of pointless for me to talk about it, because there's plenty of other videos of people who have already talked about them. But, I mean, like I said, I love making videos for you guys, so if you guys would want to see me talk about other figures that aren't just the Lego ones that I do, let me know, because I got a lot of figures that I have a lot to say about. It's just, I'm not a regular, I didn't start the channel as a regular toy reviewer. because I wasn't really planning on it. But, I mean, if you guys genuinely do want to hear what I have to say about, you know, some figures, I mean, I'm more than happy to do videos on it, just because the LEGO Transformers, as much as fun as those are to do, they're very expensive to produce. And, you know, at least this is already something that I can just pick up and look at. You know, and I'm still going to do those. It's just, I would just like to know if you guys would like to see the other stuff on the side as well. There we go. Okay, I got it in. That's probably never coming back out, so it's going to stay like that. And then this, I think, folds back. Now, I do have the Combiner Wars Menasor, because, of course I do. I dipped into that line many years ago, and I kind of regret it, because that line ended up being very... It wasn't a bad series. It was just very repetitive. And I think mine has a bit of a gangsta-lean. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, I was able to fix it. Okay, let's take a look at Menasor. Holy crap. That is, you know, just as a base figure, that's, this is impressive. I mean, I'm not sure how to deal with this. This kibble here in the back. I don't know how to deal with that. I'm sure there's a way to fold it up, and if not, I don't really care. I mean, he looks fine. That's an impressive Motormaster. I keep saying Menasor. This is Motormaster. Menasor's the combined form. That's a nice figure. I like that. God, that is so heavy. We're probably not going to look at the trailer. This video's gone on long enough. But like I said, if you guys actually want me to review, you know, actual Transformer figures, let me know, because it'll give me videos to do while I'm working on the LEGO stuff. But again, like I said, I don't get new figures right away because the stores where I live take forever. And I'm sure other stores probably take forever too because, you know, the hobby right now is kind of a mess. But, I mean, if you guys would want to see this kind of stuff, I'll be happy to do it. Just let me know in the comments below. But, oh well. Anyway, this video's gone on long enough. I hope you all have a good one. Before we go, though, Resto Kit. Yeah. Resto Kit. Alright, I'll see you guys later.
Hallelujah! Another soul saved!